Why does life look so bleak? What a question that is. You've probably asked yourself that before. You've probably asked somebody else that before. You know what it's like when you're experiencing something not so good, and something else happens, and then another thing, and then this and that, and then before you know it, you're on this slippery slope of terribleness, and then you're left wondering, why me? Why can't things go right? Why is it always one thing after another? What's happening in the world? Are we in some kind of strange alternate dimension? Have we stepped into the matrix where everything is terrible? And will it ever actually get any better? And whilst all that might be true for you, it's not objectively true. It seems like life is bleak and things are only getting worse. But in reality, true reality, it's not. Your brain is this incredible thing. It's taking in all of this data, it's processing everything at a phenomenal rate, and it's constantly making decisions, and it's formulating your worldview. It's creating your reality. But it's not perfect. It's biased and it is suggestible. It is subject to limitations based on your experiences, your emotions, your state of being, what you consume, be that physically, so things you are putting into your body, and mentally, things you are watching, things you are looking at, things you are reading, things you are listening to, the people you are dealing with every day. Your view of reality is really just a mishmash of all these different things thrown together. It's a bit like a Picasso painting, like you've got an ear over here, and then there's a toe down here, and there's a leg up there. Nothing really makes sense except to you, because it's yours. And even then, sometimes it doesn't make sense. But what that means is that it's flawed, which is why we can become very one-sided in what we're seeing. And I've explained before how we work largely based on associations and predictions. And those are dangerous because they lead to a one-sided view of the world. They lead to biases and judgments. And judgments and biases can be manipulated and they can be skewed quite easily. And it can even affect new information that you start to take in. You can think, well, maybe I do want to challenge my own assumptions. Maybe I do want to open up a little bit and change how I think and, how I'm viewing things. But as that information is coming in, the stored associations, the stored predictions will start to tar all that new information with the same brush. It'll start to look very similar, which is why it's so easy to become consumed and start to see things in a limited way. If we're constantly bombarded with media about how bad the world is, and that ties in with a few of our own experiences that confirm that, then everything will start to look the same shade of grey. We live in this little filtered world, and it's made worse by the fancy algorithms on social media that will just show us more of what we've already been looking at. You look at, you read an article about, I don't know, I hate talking about it, but the pandemic, and then all of a sudden you start to see something else about it, and then another thing about it, another thing, and then you go down this rabbit hole of reading all this stuff, and then all of a sudden it's the apocalypse and the world has ended. And then everything starts to look a little bit terrible. And the more we view these things, the more repetition there is, the stronger those notions that we have become. We start to have feelings that are backing it up, and we end up stuck in this cycle of we feel this way, we think this way, all this new information that's coming in that could potentially challenge those views is actually being made to look the same. And even if something better comes through, we see something that's a bit lighter, our stored judgments, our stored preconceived notions, they're all going to jump up and they're going to paint that grey too. Because the more that you expose yourself to something, the more you're going to see it, even when it's not there. So the takeaway here is to consider what you're actually consuming each day. Is it helping you? Is it opening you up? Is it challenging your preconceived notions? Or is it adding to the filter? Is it all starting to look the same? For those of you that want to consume something useful, you want to do something a little bit different, you want to start to challenge yourself to change and to get out of this bleak outlook, then I'd urge you to join us for the next 7-day upgrade, where we'll talk about how to shift perspectives and increase your own self-awareness. We'll talk about how to deal with stress. We'll talk about how to get clear on what you actually want to see. We'll talk about how to increase your energy so you can start to put it on something useful to you. So if you're interested in that, just drop a yes and I will send you the link with all of the details. But in the meantime, just consider today, what are you actually consuming? And how is it making you view the world? What's coming up for you? What's in your filter? So consider it and let me know your thoughts. Drop it in the comments and I'll be back next week with another video for you.